Another closing bell show. We got tons of people joining us, about 50 people already. King Yetta is in the chat, Carlos is in the chat. Welcome everyone. I was able to track our Lord and Savior, our boss. Where were you, Andrew?
This morning I decided to stay in the bed because I had a really bad trading day yesterday and I was really exhausted. And I said, you know what, I'll just want to stay in the bed and I'm not trading today. And it doesn't seem that I missed much because market is really flat and
it was very choppy. Yeah.
And I'm sure I'm going to be really stopped out today. So, and it's funny because I sent a newsletter today, and Randy Howell, which is our psychologist, tonight is going to have the a psychology webinar for all members. He messaged me, and let me actually read his email to me. It was very, very interesting. He said that, Andrew, it's okay to take the time off after a loss, and you have to let yourself go through the period of grief. Let me actually bring it into my screen, and you can actually see that. So Andrew, I would encourage you to let yourself grieve the loss. Grief is the particular emotional chemistry that is there to help work through a loss. Learn from it and move on. Be well, Randy. So that's amazing. Wow. That's really amazing. Santiago is showing that. That's amazing that he sent that email to me. And again, I encourage everyone who are watching us in the chat or live, make sure that he is having a webinar tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time in the webinar room for all elite members. So that was very, very, very nice of him to send that message to me. That's why I just said. But Ardi, this is what I was thinking. I woke up at around 8.
Yeah.
Took a shower,
Eastern,
8 this morning, or my time.
Oh, your time. Okay.
My time, yeah. So in the Pacific time. Took a shower, got the coffee, came out, and it's not even 8:45. So I said, life for a trader on the Eastern time zone could be so nice.
So much easier.
It's just, I'm so tired of waking up early in the morning and rush to the office for scalping.
Hey,
so
maybe we should move full-time to New York.
Maybe we should move to New York City. I know you like New York City.
It's so interesting. You're talking about grief and the period of grief, and of course when you lose someone, you want to be able to go through that period without getting really spiritual. But the same thing goes when you're trading. You want to be able to digest and take some time off. I wanted to make a joke and say you had a situation in the bed, but the show started really heavy. You went to the psychologist, so I'm changing my mind. I'm not gonna do that. All right, so we got a packed show. We want to talk a little bit about market. Obviously, Andrew missed out today's market, but I want to talk about market a little bit. I'm also missing a lot on the sleep, so sorry, my hair is a little crazy. But we're going to talk market. We're going to talk inflation. I want to talk about a potential really good trade going into next month. I think bonds are setting up for a rally, especially a long-term bond. So if you're more of a TLT, trading them through TLT or some leverage product, you definitely want to tune in. We're going to talk about Tesla and how competition is really catching up to Tesla, and Elon Musk is worried. A new round of layoff. So we're going to recap the market overall. Jerome Powell also talked about economy, and that was really interesting. And later in the show, we have Anya. She's been with us for, I think, the past 6-7 months. She's been working closely with Ayman as her mentor, and she's been getting amazing results. And she's going to come in, share her story. We're really, really excited. I had a conversation with her on Monday, and I think it's going to be an amazing, amazing show. So if you just tuned in, make sure to like, subscribe to our channel, of course. And yeah, it's going to be a packed show.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much. Anya is one of the very interesting traders that I'm following on Twitter and Instagram, that she's so committed. Her discipline is amazing. There's so many traders who are posting on Twitter, but Anya in particular, she's so committed to consistency, and I really, really enjoy watching and seeing her trades, and specifically working with Ayman as her mentor is amazing. It's kind of probably a good idea to also see what the role of mentorship has for her and has done for her. So it's really good to learn about that. So I'm glad she accepted that.
Yeah, and she was so awesome. I was having a conversation. She's like, I'm still down overall because I had some major losses, but I feel like I've been really consistent in the past 6 months, and I want to share my story, but I want to be truthful. It's not like I'm making a lot of money. And I'm like, it's really, we really focus on the process, right? Like just going back to Michael Gayed and our conversation yesterday, like smart and pros look at the left side of the equation, And the amateurs look at the right side, which is the outcome. You want to have the good process in place, and that's what we really focus on, right? And that's what it's all about. And kind of same thing with having Anya on the show. We have about 100 people joining us. I love how this show is picking up. Let's go to our trading terminal, Andrew, if you have it open. How are the indices doing? What's the overall theme in the market today?
So right now what we are seeing is pretty much flat on SPY and QQQ. IWM is down 1.4%. That's exactly what you thought about that potential impact on IWM after the Nike report. I think the inventory of the Nike came in. So market sold off yesterday heavily, and today kind of held. Q's pretty much exactly that 0%. SPY down a little bit. It was a really congruent day that we have. This is what we call a congruent, directionless, choppy price action. In terms of dropping, energy is dropping the most. I think if you look at the crude is at 111, but energy sector is selling off, leading the downward move by 3%. Healthcare and consumer staples are up around 0.6%, but most of them are really staying on the front. On the year to date, if you look at the indexes right now, you're seeing the Qs are down 29%, IWM 24%, SPY 20%, and Dow Jones 15%. So
I would say the only thing you missed today, Andrew, was NEO. So I think a short seller report came in on NEO. I have it open on my chart as well if Santiago want to go in there. That they're cooking up their numbers, inflating revenues, taking into account sales earlier than it's supposed to be accounted for. And they're basically, like every other Chinese company, they're kind of manipulating their numbers, and the stock gapped down, but then rallied back up. I don't know if any of our traders traded it, but I feel like this could have been a nice, maybe an opening range breakout for you.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, it was really bit hard to trade that probably at the open, but I'm looking at my chart. So this, for the first 2 minutes, there wasn't a lot of volume, and that usually happens when these auctions are not really balancing, and sometimes the volume comes in at number 3. So the stock was gapping down. If I were trading it, I would have probably looking at it at a short or potential long for the either opening range breakup or opening range breakdown around this very beautiful consolidation level that we had on the pre-market. In this particular case, sold off. I usually wait for 1 minute, so it wouldn't be impacting my trading if I were trading that. And it did popped up to the VWAP. I probably wouldn't trade that, but as soon as the volume came in, I might have jumped for opening range breakup. Again, this is a stock that has gapped down, so if I were trading this one, I would have been very careful because this is not an A+ setup for me. A+ setup is that the stock is gapping down. So this is probably, it would be A or B+ setup for me.
Sorry, you said A+ setup is what?
A+ setup for opening range breakup is on the stock that is actually gapping up.
Okay.
This one is up, gapping down. So it's the previous day closed at 22.40 and now you're trading at 21. So that's a significant 10% drop. So you got to be careful going long on that. In this case, it works really well. But the indicator would be that the VWAP has been claimed, and that's a very important element. Obviously bullish volume as well.
What role does VWAP plays?
So I think so the VWAP is essentially saying the balance of the power between buyers and sellers. Mm-hmm. So when the stock is trading above the VWAP, means that there is more aggressive buying into the stock. Mm-hmm. And if the stock is trading below the VWAP, it means that there are more aggressive selling. Mm. So I want to go long on the stock that is breaking out with volume through the VWAP. It means that the buyers are taking control of the price and they push the price higher. So that's why I'd rather to go long here and put a stop loss just below the VWAP or maybe these moving averages.
Yeah.
So as a general, you can go long below the VWAP. So it's not that you always have to go long above the VWAP. No. For example, if the stock is selling off really bad and doing the consolidation, even though VWAP is here, you could take a reversal for that with the putting a stop loss below the low of the day. But generally, if I want to trade the momentum right at the open and look at above the VWAP or below the VWAP, I don't like to go long just below the VWAP. It's just not my style. But that's my style. I know, for example, Thor is trading it differently based on the pivot points, and there is more than one way to trade really the market.
Yeah. What is VWAP? No, I'm just joking. We know what VWAP is. Shout out to our producer. He was doing some new stuff. When you were on your chart, he was also having your picture below the chart, like really amazing stuff. So thanks for doing that. Great job, Santiago. We're always, again, trying to improve the show, working really hard. All right, so since we talk a lot about trading, and what could have been. Let's talk a little bit about the market overall. So there's tons of talk about peaked inflation, and this was something we talked with Michael Gayed yesterday as well. So one of the things is you can look at 5-year break-even and 10-year break-even, and these are based on tips. So these are your inflation protected securities. So they are whatever the inflation expectation is, they pay you. So you can see since April, almost since April, both the 10-year and the 5-year, 5-year being the black line, 10-year being the red line has come down tremendously, the break-even point. So the 10-year, which is the red line, is at 2.6. Now and this is where I kind of want to bring it into the idea that I have. I think the risk to reward for long-term bonds is a really good idea. Is if the 10-year break-even is at 2.6 and the 10-year treasury has to be kind of equivalent with the long-term inflation expectation. But the 10-year currently is at 3.5 or I think 3.05. So that means there's a little bit of divergence here. So the yields has to come down on the 10-year if the inflation has really peaked. The yields has to come down. And when the yields comes down, we know bonds rally. And it's been 2 days that we've seen TLT, IEF pretty strong. So, I've been selling some premium on TLT. I end up collecting all the premiums, making some money, but I think it's a time to get a little aggressive. Let me bring up the TLT chart, and I want to show this. And there's also, for you, Andrew, there's leverage products on these as well. There's 2 times and 3 times leverage for 10-year.
10-year.
Yeah.
So what are they?
I gotta do some Googling. I forgot their ticker. Yeah.
Should we go at it? Should we dump $1 million on that?
I think so. So if you look at the chart, take a look at this. 2 days now, 2 days in a row, kind of higher highs right now. It just seems to me that we're aiming to go back at around 120. That will probably put the yields at somewhere about 2.75, which, by the way, will invert the curve, which will signal recession by the bond market.
This is what I want to do. I want to buy $100,000 of leverage 3 times of TLT.
Okay. Are you sure?
I'm going to announce it actually too.
Are you doing that on a live show?
Yeah. If anyone knows what's the ticker, I'm going to actually go buy it right now.
Oh my goodness. All right. I think I talked about it in my research on peak capital trading. Let me see if I can bring it up really quickly. Did I say it here? I think so. I think it was the last week's.
But that doesn't mean that other people should do that, guys.
No.
This is the money that I just want to make sure that this is the money that I pay. I can take the loss on that, but be careful of not doing that. But I will just be interested to get that move.
TYD and TMF. These two are the leverage for the long-term treasuries.
So say again,
TYD or TMF. They're both
TMF.
They're both kind of the leverage. So if you look at them on a daily, you can see they've had a really rough year. Just because, so if you could go to Andrew's screen, so you can see that they've already been down because the yields are going up, and this is a reverse of that, right? So,
all right, I'm gonna go buy that. Andrew's going YOLO, yeah.
So Caesar is saying TMF, yeah. So it's going to be interesting. Again, this is based on kind of my thinking. I'm looking at data. I'm looking at inflation data. Looking at the expectation. Is there some kind of a divergence? And what would that mean for 10-year? Of course, if you want to get into these type of trades, know your risk to reward. Know where you want to exit. Monitor these data, and if the data changes, then be sure to adjust. But it's all about risk to reward. It's all about looking at opportunities. Andrew actually literally just walked into his trading station to take this trade. This is the type of due diligence that Andrew does. And he's coming back now. Did you actually take the trade?
No, I just wanted to. What was the ticket? TMF?
I think he's going to take it. So let's while Andrew go and take that trade, let's continue on this slide deck. We talked about inflation. So let me bring this up again. Inflation expectation that it seems like it has peaked. It's on its way down. the inflation expectation, so if we put it as, you know, in macroeconomics, they put it as pi E, so like pi expectation. Inflation expectation and 10-year should really move together. So if the 10-year inflation expectation is somewhere around 2.6, that means the 10-year yield has to be somewhere about 2.6. The 10-year yield currently is a lot higher. So if you go to our trading terminal, let me bring that up really quickly. You can see the 10-year is at 3%, so right here. So, and by the way, it's down 3% today, right? So it's kind of telling you what the majority of people in the market are thinking. So what I'm telling you is a lot of people are thinking that way and are thinking about starting a position there. I know Caesar is in the chat. He likes to get into the bond market. So I made sure to talk about this as well since I saw you in the chat. Let's go to our next slide. So another reason that, you know, inflation has peaked, Andrew, and this was something I was reading this morning that I thought is interesting. The shipping cost has been on a way down. So look at the global index, look at China to LA coast, China to Europe, and China to East Coast. Almost all the major ones are on the way down. Oh, by the way, Jared is in the chat and he said, I'm also engaged in that trade.
In which direction, Jared, though? I took $100,000 worth of TMF. I just got filled, so. But are you with me in there?
No, he's with you in there. So Jared and I have been selling premium on TLT, have been selling puts for the past 2 weeks. But I didn't know Jared now got into the direction aggressively. I'm not in that trade, by the way, but I'm still waiting for more confirmation. But I want to be in there. I think it's setting up, and these are the type of stuff when the macro thinking and the bigger picture kind of aligns with the technical. That's the favorite outcome for myself personally. So. It's great. Cesar saying best show on YouTube. Thank you. Really appreciate it. For those of you who are just joining us, welcome to Closing Bell. We're going to have Anya in about 10 minutes joining our show and talking about her journey as a trader. So really excited. So tune in. She will be with us in just a few minutes. Another thing, Andrew, that I saw, again, really surprising, is this divergence between City Economic Surprise Index and 10-year U.S. Treasury yield. Again, on the topic of, I believe the yields have to come down on the 10-year. So, you know, when there is a negative surprise, what do you expect the 10-year to do, the rates to do? You expect them to come down, right? Because it's a negative surprise. That means the rates have to come down in the future to promote economic growth, right? And when there is a positive surprise in the economy, what do you expect the 10-year to do? You expect the 10-year to go higher, right? I'm hearing a little echo, by the way, Santiago, in my ear, just so you know. This past year, there has been a massive divergence between the economic surprise index and 10-year. So we're getting a lot of negative surprises, but 10-year continued going up. So if the inflation is peaking, this divergence has to converge at some point. So this is a very strong, again, another strong indicator, like a macro indicator telling you that 10-year needs to rally. So kind of the logic behind that trade. Does that make sense for all of our users?
Yeah, 100%. So that's why that was the basics of that trade. So going back to TLT. So Jared says he's actually long from in that position on TMF and TYD since TLT hit the $110. So just want to make sure that, guys, if you want to get the access to all of these information that Adi is having, go sign up to tradingterminal.com, and in the trading terminal we're going to add a page opinion, and Adi is going to publish a lot of this opinion either in the form of text or in the form of video in the opinion page. Adi also has a newsletter that those guys who want to be in touch with him and get his information, you can actually go and sign up to his newsletter. I'm gonna put his newsletter into the chat right now for those of you who are interested.
So yeah, Jared is saying he's also in TLT since 110. So that's the trade is up already very nicely. Jared, what is your profit target where are you planning to exit? By the way, Anya is joining us in just a couple of minutes. I just have a few more slides I wanted to talk about to wrap up today and everything that happened in the market, and then we'll bring Anya on the line. So Anya, if you're there, just be a little bit more patient with us. We really appreciate that. Andrew, your favorite, small caps. Last thing I wanted to show you. So if you can go to my screen, the forward PE of small caps, the 600 index, is now at 12.5, the lowest it's basically ever been, even more than the crash, even more than the '08 debacle. So 12.5. But again, what I always say is when something is cheap, there is a reason for it. Don't go bargain hunting just because something is cheap. I believe there's more downturn for small caps, but that was another interesting fact that I saw in the morning when I was researching for today's shows that I thought I'll share with people. I've been taking profit on that IWM short for the past couple of days. I think if we get a bear market rally, I'm going to add again to that short. But I personally think there's another leg down. But let's see.
So you posted that IWM short actually on Twitter. So those of you who want to see Ardi's entry and exit, you can take a look at his post.
Yeah, just so Jared's exit is at 120. That's his target. At 120, he's going to exit that TLT. So 110 to 120, that's a solid 10%, like 8%, 9% return in probably just a couple of weeks if the yields start coming down. Last thing I wanted to share before we bring Anya on the line is Tesla and Tesla losing market share. So, you know, when you look at the past few months, these gray line and black line, Andrew, are Hyundai and Kia, these Korean companies. And they're really getting market share, increasing market share in the past few months. And even Elon Musk in Twitter kind of said they're doing very well and kind of showing a little bit elements of concern. So let me make this a little bigger so people can actually see. Somebody was making a joke how GM is not even in the list, but as you can see, Hyundai is now second in US in the EV sales. So competition is coming for Tesla, and Elon is definitely aware of that. So
yeah, and especially the Korean car company like Hyundai and Kia are well known to produce high quality cars at a lower price. I know specifically Kia, because they want to get the share in North American market. Their cars, for the value that you're paying, you're actually getting a really high quality car because they just want to penetrate the North American market. So that's definitely a very tough competition for Tesla, which is on a more higher price range of EV cars. The brand is way more powerful. So Tesla is has a very powerful brand, but definitely, the competition is concerning.
Yeah, definitely. I totally agree with you. I just want to see how Tesla is doing today. I'm going to our charting to see what Tesla is up to. Down another 2% today, so not really a good day. So let me open up the full chart. Yeah, the trend is definitely downward. I mean, you can kind of draw a channel here. Yeah, it's definitely not a good time. We'll see if Tesla can kind of regain that 1,000 that it had at some point earlier in the year. But competition definitely is coming. Someone's asking about GDP numbers. I think the GDP number, the adjustment was today, and the first quarter it contracted. But I'm not sure about.
So if you go I'm going to go to the trading terminal into the economy calendar. So if you go to tradingterminal.com, there's a calendar, and you go into the tab economy calendar. So we have the PCE price index and the core PCE price index, which that could be initial jobless claims that is important that you're getting on June 25th. That could be something that shows about the state of economy. So these are the stuff that you can get based on that.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so it's almost 4 minutes to market close. I want to talk a little bit about our guest before she comes on. So again, Anya, she's been a member with us for a while, and this is her R curve right here, as you can see behind my screen. And since she started working with Amen, she really turns things around. Really focused on R and small wins rather than adding monetary value to it. And she really turns things around. And she's gonna share her story. I think it's an amazing story. People can really get a lot of value out of it. She's going to talk about what she changed from about her journaling specifically that really helped her. So, one of the reasons I reached out to members and really worked really hard to bring as many people on is because every story might be an aha moment for a struggling trader or a trader that is trying to become consistent. So that's one of the things I care about, and that's what we're doing. So without any further ado, if our producer can bring Anya on the line, if she's ready, it would be amazing. Just give me the signal and we know that she can come in. Oh, there she is. Hi, Anya. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, no problem at all. Yes. So if everybody on the chat, if they can hear Anya properly, just give us a thumbs up so we know the sound quality and everything is good. Anya, thank you so much for agreeing to do this. I know on our conversation, it's and I tell this to every guest. I know it's overwhelming coming in, like hundreds of people are watching you, but we really appreciate it, and I know the members really appreciate it as well. So kind of just tell us a little bit about yourself, introduce yourself for those of us who don't know you. By the way, definitely go follow Anya on Twitter. She's growing really, really fast. I think you have over 1,000 followers now, so congrats on that.
12 more.
12 more. There we go. We're gonna make it happen today.
Thank you so much Anya for coming. I've been following you almost a year now, and I really enjoy your commitment to get to the consistency. Great job.
Thank you so much, but not a year, a little less, because my name is Anya. I'm originally from Belarus, but I live in USA right now, and I started trading around like 10 and a half months ago. I even remember this day. It was September 14th when I made my first day trade. Before that,
Sorry, Anya, to interrupt you, but is it possible that you bring your microphone a little bit closer to you, because it seems that it's they can't hear you properly. You just have to be very close to your microphone. If it's even a laptop, maybe you can. I'm so sorry. I know it's a little bit inconvenient.
I don't know. Let me know if you can hear me better.
Yeah,
Right
this
now.
is better now.
better.
Yeah, that's
It is
awesome.
better?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and I started trading like 10 and a half months ago. I did my first day trade. Before that, I used to try swing trading and was very unsuccessful about it. I made all the mistakes, I guess. Wait a second, my dog, like that.
It was Brian's fault for the swing trading, I think, Andrew.
Yes,
Yeah.
This is my dog. She decided to play right away.
That's
And so, I lost. I did all the mistakes, I guess. What people can do. I used margin. I got a margin call. I needed to close the positions. I lost like half of my account. Was depressed, and then my attention. I was looking for where I can make money back, and I found day trading. So that was right and that was wrong. Actually, today I'm very thankful to the destiny that it brought me to day trading. But of course, I started the wrong way. And I want people who may be watching this show right now, if they didn't start investing yet or put money to their account and start trading leave, to avoid this mistake. And number one mistake is to try to have this mind to try make that I'm coming to day trading to make money on it. Investing money, trade leave. This is the biggest mistake, and especially when you have this mind in your head, you will attract all the people who are promising you this money, like for all the scammers, all these people who will promise you that I'm gonna teach you something, and in a month you're gonna make millions, like whatever, thousands of dollars, and I'm gonna give you a strategy, or you're gonna follow my signals, and they're like 99%. I have 99% winning rate. Already today, when I have a lot of friends and through the Twitter and online and offline also, it doesn't work. I haven't met one successful person by now in this year who made like good money through. Hi, I lost all the. Hello,
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we
can
can
hear
hear
you.
you.
you can hear me. So I
Yeah, yeah.
haven't met one person who really made money through all these methods, and I was the same. So I was with this idea. I attracted the wrong people who promised me a lot, and I was like having this idea, I'm gonna make a lot of money. Everything I should do, like I should just follow someone, and all this. I was being in all these chats, who giving signals and everything, and of course, I lost another 50% of my account.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
That moment, I went through very hard depression, and I realized that I can't trust anymore to anyone because I don't by that time I didn't meet anybody who could give me advice what to do. Like I lost money, so it's a big money. So, and but I pretty stubborn person, and I decided to learn myself. And I went to Amazon, and like a lot of people sharing here, I bought all the books that are available in Amazon about day trading, start reading them one and then another one, then another one. And of course, one of this book was Andrew's book. I think it's a great book. And right now, if anybody asking me like, "Oh, can you give me some advice about day trading?" Just read the book first. After you finish it, you pretty much know what to do, but not go leave for sure. So, and after I read this book, I Google about the Bearable Trader School, and I saw a lot of reviews, and I decided to trust again. So, and I joined the elite membership. I become an elite member, so I bought a membership, and I started. I got on the same track because I like these people. I saw that here you go, finally I'm in the right place, and people are so smart. But the idea on my psychology was the same: to make money, to make this money
Exactly.
back, and that bothered me. And in the first 2 months, I joined in the early December or late November, I don't remember. In the first 2 months, I lost a lot more money because I started doing the same. I started following
Following. Yeah.
mentors in the chat. So, and when I was very close to PBT, I was that's it. I was I didn't know what to do anymore. So, and I just was thinking a lot and talked to myself a lot. So, with the psychology side, like Anya, like why it's happening, and I was like answered myself because I want to make money. But it doesn't work. Like you didn't make a penny like in a half a year. You lost
Yeah.
a lot of money. You paid a lot of money to different people, and you still didn't make. Why you decided that you're gonna make money? And then I answered myself like, okay, then you should quit day trading because you can continue losing money. And somewhere inside told me, but I don't want to quit it. Like I like it. I like trading.
Yeah.
And that was the main answer when everything changed in my psychology because okay, if I like trading, why should I make money out of them? So I want just to learn how to trade and become a trader. So and don't put it together with make money. Eventually it can happen, but I don't know when. And a lot of like ad in their chat room, he's like great coach who is like always speak about this money. So it resonated me a lot, and I start thinking these people are smart. These people actually making money and they giving this advice. So I should finally quit my stubbornness and just quit this idea and just become this, accept my weakness basically. Because I'm very stubborn. I'm very like, no, I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. And as soon as I accepted my weakness, I realized that I need somebody who can help me. And I tried. To work with Ed, and he's a great mental coach and he has a great strategy. But this strategy a little bit didn't work with me because of my personality. I guess it's very hard for me to wait that long. And for example, if position goes against you,
Right.
to see that after I was traumatized so bad in the past, to see like that my position red, I want and my mentality are more faster. So I kind of waiting for faster result. And then my attention took Iman strategy. He was sharing it in the chat, and it's kind of like I kind of it just attracted my personality, and I was like, I want to try it, and I start working with
Which
Iman.
strategy exactly, Anya? The parabolic reversals, or which one from Amen really resonated with you?
So it's not even I didn't even know what was the strategy before I joined, before I start working. I just like because his stops are very tight, and so he kind of that's make me give me an idea. And I already had a lot of screen time, and I already had some experience by then. I already was trading half a year. I was losing, but still, I already had some experience. I just realized that he's kind of maybe knows some tricks how to find these entries with that tight stop, and I wanted to figure it out. And as soon as I start mentoring with him, he gave me a lot of tips, maybe from it's not like he gave me, I just told myself that if I couldn't do anything, I just gonna do whatever the mentor says. I'm ready to pay money for that again and everything. And as soon as he gave me all the rules and everything that we're going to do from day second, and plus it's some responsibility, psychological side. When you have a mentor who's gonna review your trades, like and your account, like, and what you're doing, like, not every day, but at least every week. So you kind of have this responsibility. I don't want to do stupid things because I kind of feel bad, like if he told me what to do and I'm still doing like the upside down things. And from that day, if you see on the curve, it actually was that day when you see the turning around point.
Yeah.
So that was the moment when I started work with Iman.
Yeah, so I got the curve up right now. If our producer can go in there, so this is exactly where kind of Eamon came in and kind of promoted that accountability and working with him. So I kind of want to focus a little on psychology, and you said how like your personality being kind of driven, and you called it a stubborn. I would say driven. Being kind of driven was working against you. How did you kind of digest that information that you can't really wrestle with the market and you have to change your method? Like what really changed for you?
I think right here I want to mention Ed's name, because Ed helped me a lot with that. Maybe he knows about it or he doesn't. I mentioned him in the Twitter and told him that, but Ed really helped me with that because I was spending a lot of time in Ed's room and in his webinars and listening. Like he kind of put it in your mind, like just all these phrases, like when he always posting, like it doesn't matter how much how strong you are, how smart you are, how a lot of educations do you have, but marketing gonna beat you up. It depends how you can survive there and what can help you. And all the mentors also repeat that the rules is the key, the rules is the key, the rules is the key. And as soon as I start working with Eamon, he in the day one he put a rules on my trading that I didn't have previously. Before that, the max loss, the max attempts to positions. So like for example, if you try 2 times it didn't work, you don't have to try the third time. Like no more than 5 trades a day, no more than whatever 3 hour loss a day. Like kind of he put a rules right away, and as soon as I implement these rules, I just went against my my personality, because yes, I'm stubborn, I don't like to quit anything, and it went against me. So it's useful because I still here, I didn't quit by now, and I didn't quit when I lost a lot. But same times on the market, when I'm in the position, when I'm in the trade, it always worked against me, because it's the same way. I was stubborn, I didn't close my loss, I was trying to fight it, I was trying to make it back, like and that really worked against me. And when I shared about it with my mentors, so I realized this is the key. if I just accept myself weak, if I just accept myself that I don't know anything about this market, he's strong, he's stronger than me, he's big, I'm small, like there
Yeah.
is no way, like how I can win it? I can win it only with a strategy. I can't win it with being stubborn, being strong, whatever.
Well said. Yeah.
It doesn't work.
That's awesome. Yeah, exactly. You can't really wrestle with the market. You gotta find a rule-based approach and really stick to it. Kind of speaking on Amen, and I'll ask this question, and then Andrew, I'll pass it on to you. I know Amen really worked with your journaling, and he changed your journaling style. Can you touch on that? Because I think that's really important. And in peak capital trading, we say journaling. I journal my trade. It's really important. So can you
Yeah,
touch on that element a little bit
that's
as well?
actually helped me a lot too. Basically, from day one, as soon as I start journaling different, because before that, I kind of journaled, but how we all journaling, like we make a screenshot,
Yeah.
we make some notes, or it would be better, like, or here is a mistake, and that's it. We put this in some folder and we forget about it. But the Ayman asked me to keep the data about every trade, not about my trade, but the data. Like what could happen if I like hold it, like how much hours, for example, the stock runs after I exit, or like from my entry if I want, if I will not exit, how much. What would happen if I move the stop? What would happen if I don't move the stop? What would be my reward if I just take two or nothing, or -1 or three or nothing, four or nothing, seven or nothing? What would be the reward on all these different scenarios? And I kind of start like the timing, when did you take the trade, like how far you put the stop loss, but not on the kind of 20 cents or 5 cents, doesn't tell you anything, but like 5%. What would be if you put like 7% or 10%? And I start keeping all this data and think, okay, like the most ways like my trades work if I tire my stop. Like I don't need to use like 10%. I can tire it and have better reward. Or most cases I'm coming out in 2 hours, but most cases my trades works till 3 4 hours. Like it changed a little bit this month with this volatility, but the previous months it worked so well. And as soon as I saw this big picture, what could happen if I just act differently. So basically, I got the ready scenario and ready picture. What could make me more profitable on my trades and make me have more winning dates. Not maybe winning trade, but winning dates and weeks and months. And that's what I suggest everybody, because journaling to make a screenshot again and look at your mistake, it doesn't help, but kind of create and imagine scenario how make this trade winning and what would help. So you kind of put this visualization, I don't know if I pronounced
Yeah,
right,
exactly. Yeah.
uh, like seems like you did the right trade, and your subconscious next time work like you already had this trade, because otherwise you're just looking at your losing trades and you remember all the losing trades, and next time you just being scared to take a trade and being
Yeah,
afraid to
I think that's a really important point you're saying. It's kind of looking at. I feel like trading journals are a gift and a curse in terms that they do everything for you, but when you take that element of you doing the work and imagining what would have been different if you change this strategy and that is strategy, that's where the majority of the learning is actually happening. So that's definitely a great point. Andrew, do you want to take the next question?
Yeah, so I know there's a lot of new traders are watching our show or going to watch our show, and a lot of them wants to get into the path that you're having, like 4 months consistently, and that curve is pretty much everyone go through that, the valley of death and disappointment. What's your recommendation for the people who are trying to be consistent or just starting? And can you give them a couple of points that they can take away so they help them in the journey?
Number one, I think with the idea that you to make the money, as I already said in the beginning, just put this money on the banking account, and all money that you imagine and that you're gonna make on this trade, like thousand, or you already put a daily, weekly, a yearly goals, how much you're gonna just put it in your account that you're gonna withdraw in 3 years, basically. Don't try to withdraw it this week. So number two, join the school, because if you want to make money, most likely you're not gonna make it. If you want to learn how to trade, you need a school, because where we usually learning something or studying, like we're learning at the school. So basically you have to find the right school for you. For me, the school is Verbal Traders, and I really recommend you join Verbal Traders. And then I really recommend step three, just try different like strategies from different mentors, different advices, different like watch different mentors, teachers, I don't know, and find out who is like personally more similar as you, like psychologically, what strategies are fit you better. And then I really recommend you to work individually, at least not forever, not, but at least for a few months, until you the professional can point you on your mistakes, or point you on something that, because they have it this experience for years, and they look at the chart and they can point it, oh, but you didn't notice this thing, but, and then you, oh, I didn't even notice that this is here, like, like you're just trading, you're thinking, oh, this is gonna be like a nice trend, but they're like, look, there is like very strong like support here, like from the day before, and you didn't even look on the daily chart like that moment. And then next time you already kind of, if he pointed to you like 5 times, you'll remember it.
Yeah,
Next time you're not going
exactly.
to do this mistake. So the reviewing trades with professional is very useful. Not just making a trade, but reviewing with someone who already in, and who is knowing, who is already profitable and experienced and professional. So these 3 steps, I think, number one. And of course, all these others, like make a strategy, test it, follow your rules. Like every book is saying the same, so I will say the same.
That's awesome. That's great. So kind of to recap, forget about the money, focus on the process. Well, join a really good school. I mean, you need the education. If not, Verbal Traders, there are plenty of communities out there as well. And get with a
Because I
professional.
will, yes, I will put another, like what helped me to like talk to myself.
Yes,
Like
please.
I lost a lot of money, and of course why this curve is very beautiful, but if to take my money curve, it's not that beautiful. So of course it has the same bottom and then going up very slowly, because I was risking like few $100s a trade
Yeah.
when I was losing. Right now, when I started trade with strategy with working with Amon. He just in the first, like, he just said we're gonna start like from $5. I was like, what? What the
Yeah.
$5? Like there is like, and then I like, I'm not gonna make money, and then I put this and we're gonna increase it every time, like, I don't know, every time you make it 10 hours or 20 hour, as soon as you finish a goal 10 hour or 20 hour, you increase it a little bit, then increasing it a little bit, like 10% every time, so
Amazing.
you're not affected psychologically. And then I realized, I put on an Excel sheet what's gonna happen if I gonna just stick with this and increase it every 10 hour for a little bit, like 10%, 20% my risk. And I thought in 3 years I'm gonna make this money, basically what I lost like in a month or two. Why should I rush today? If I can
Exactly.
make this money like maybe in few months, maybe in few weeks, but not today, maybe in 3 weeks. But at least there is no risk. I'm not trading, like I'm not worrying anymore. Even right now I'm trading already with money that I made in these 4 months. I'm not touching money, I'm not risking money that I have on my account. They just there for PDT rule, but I'm trading with risk whatever I have, whatever I already made. So put this idea that you can make this money, big money, and withdraw it from your account in few years.
Yeah.
You don't need them today.
Yeah, Exactly, and the market is not going anywhere, right? If you don't need to take really aggressive risks, the market is going to stay here. Just on that topic, someone's asking the question in the chat. So they're asking basically, now that you're consistent and uptrending in your R curve, how fast do you feel comfortable increasing your R size? So now it's
I'm
start. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm still following the same rule. I'm not trying to rush and saying, "Oh, I'm consistent," because I tried. I already made this mistake in the middle of my journey. In the middle of this 4 months, I was like, "Oh, like it looks so good. Let me just increase it like double my R." So and that day I lost like whatever, I don't remember, like 5 hours. So I broke the rule because I lost more than I wanted. I All my bad habits came back because it's psychological. So you worry too much, you exit in faster, your psychology works different, and I just made it back. I just made it back to my original risk. And right now, how I do it to kind of make my brain not even noticing it, I'm adding every time I'm finishing 10R. So every time I'm finishing 10R, I'm adding a little bit, but very a little bit. For example, it was 10, then it was $15, then it was $20, then it was $25. So then it was like sometimes, for example, when market is I went to $50, then I start losing. I lost 10 hours, so I reduced my hours a little bit because I didn't know, is it market or is it me doing something wrong. Then I reduced it twice without any worrying. I start making it back. So I'm not trying to make money, as I said. Right now I'm trying to make this curve, and I'm trying to uh, make trades and make hours.
Yeah.
So right now I'm at $50 risk. So and I'm not gonna make it 50, then 100, then 200. Probably it's gonna be 55, then 60, then 65, and it depends how much I like. This month I'm closing 35 hours. So basically I increased my art only 2 times because in the beginning of month I had a red strike for 7 days.
Yeah, I
So and I
remember.
decreased my cost. But as soon as I come back to my green days, so I increase it back. So this month I increase it almost only. I was going to $20, but I increase it only to $10. But I guess in 2 months I'll be around like 70, 80, 100. So and then slowly put 10% every time I make a good profit
Oh,
every
amazing.
week maybe.
That's exactly right, and that's the power of compounding, right? We talk about like in finance, it's like eighth wonder of the world is compounding. These are slow incrementals. I mean, even at peak capital trading, Andrew, I think our max loss for our traders is around $200.
Yes,
So,
that's correct.
we like teach and preach these really tight stops and kind of being disciplined. That's amazing. I mean, if any other people in the chat, we have about 170 people. If you have a question for Anya, please put it in the chat, because this is kind of our list of questions that we've had for her. So this is your opportunity to kind of ask her. I don't know, Anya, if you're seeing the chat, but so many positive comments. People are saying we love your approach, really amazing. Carlos is really promoting you over there in the chat as well.
Yeah, so one question I have, and I want to know, Anya, how many trade book do you have? How many trade books? Essentially, how many strategies you're trading?
Great
I'm
question.
trading like I guess like three as Imon taught me, but I some of them I change a little bit. It's a pinpoint strategy, it's a breakout strategy, and it's a reversal or for a bounce, like bounce or reversal after a full ATR gun strategy, like later for the late market. I mean later in the day trading, if I want to trade or so basically this three. So I'm trying to implement a little bit in what I already do pivot points, but I'm kind of trying to use it together as a plus to strategies what I'm already using. So and see how it like comes together. So right now, yes. So I already like not trading straight what I used to do with Ayman. So I do some trades like kind of a little bit like lefter or righter because I kind of have a little already more screen time and have a little bit this feeling of some conscience, like when it says already, I know this story, I know this chart, like how it behaves in this setup, in this situation. Let me try. So I can try uh, a trade a little out of my trade book because I don't have, and I'm journaling everything. And at the end of 100 trades, I'm trying to see what strategies gave me more red trades or more rewards or more green trades in more time. And for example, if some strategy like it works well, like I'm doing a good reward, but it works only in 10% cases. So
Yeah,
I'm trying to trade it this less,
amazing.
or only a plus setup. So
Love it. Someone's asking in the chat, Andrew, do we have a pinpoint webinar?
No, I don't think we have.
Yeah, we should get Ayman or even yourself to do a webinar for us on the pinpoint strategy. I think that would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be awesome. If you and
Yeah.
Eamon can do together a strategy, that would be really amazing. I know, Anya, you already, people are asking if you can mentor them. There you go. So free advertisement for you. I can post Anya's Twitter actually in the chat. So those of you who want to be in touch with her, you can actually, I highly recommend get in touch with her. The reason that she is in Twitter and posting all of this stuff is to be in touch with all of other traders in the community. Reach out to her if you want.
yeah, and to be in touch, and also to it very help too. We always scared to show our bad traits, our like rat traits, our stupid traits, and I still have it sometimes, and stupid exits. Like, but I'm still like posting everything because it helping a lot. Like, you always think that people gonna think like, oh, you stupid, why did you take this trade, why you exited here? But no, people are pretty kind, especially in the same community. They always will support, give you advices, give you some suggestions, give you that support that you know, no, you'll be okay, just follow your rules, just tomorrow it will be a new day. Like, and it really helpful. Like, I met a lot of people who I talk to about trading right now through the Twitter. So don't be scared to post your trades, even if they're not that nice.
Definitely. No, yeah, exactly. It's just sometimes your losses are your best lessons, and people actually resonate more with you as well. A couple other questions came in. I just wanted to ask you. So, are you fully day trading now? Or did you ever go back to swing trading to give that try, or no?
No, I'm fully day trading. I never ever leave a position overnight anymore.
Yeah, I think you got traumatized after that
Yeah,
experience with swing trading. Yeah.
haven't happened. Not just this. Like, I have a lot of friends, investors who are like feels not very good, and I love trading. I
Yeah.
sleep so well.
No, exactly. When you close everything, you get to sleep very well. I think we covered a lot of the questions. I don't see any new questions. Anya, thank you so much. Thank you for giving us 30
Thank
minutes
you.
of your time. We really appreciate it. Again, of course, about 170 people joined our show today. So if you could give us a thumbs up, a thumbs up for Anya and her courage to come on the show and share her story, that would be amazing. Any last words? Any closing remarks?
Thank you very much for inviting me, and I want to thank you all of mentors from Barebow Traders. Yes, I mentioned Ed. I mentioned uh, Ayman, who was my mentor, but I want to say thank you to all the mentors actually, and Jared and Thor and um, like everybody who are giving webinars. I watched actually all the webinars from Variable Traders, and they all are very valuable. I'm in the chat like every day and just listening on the side, like, and I always find something useful. I always like, every day you can find something that you haven't you yesterday. And I want just to thank you, Andrew, to create something like this, something that big and huge and nice. And I like, I think it's very important the values of the school, because in this school nobody gonna tell you, oh, you're gonna make a lot of money, we're gonna give you signals, we're gonna, no, as soon as you come, the values here is education, and that's very important. So, and I see a lot of students who are saying and who are texting me directly to my Twitter that yes, like variable, thanks variable traders, I became profitable. I'm being a variable traders member for like year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. It feels like a family. It feels like even if something happened, even if I'm gonna lose tomorrow, like my urge, like, or just go on my mind somewhere, like, or I know that I have behind me an army that will support me in any situation, and that's very important. And I want to say thank you to all of you to creating this beautiful community. And I'm waiting for all of you in Los Angeles when it's going to be a meeting to see you all personally.
Yeah, thank you so much for being a member. This is a great community because of each and every single one of you. Give some thumbs up to Anya for coming, and you know it's not easy to come and sharing the story like that in YouTube. I really appreciate that. And hopefully, yes, we're gonna have an LA meetup. It's been a while that we haven't had any meetup in Southern California, so that's gonna be very soon on the planning. But I do encourage people, don't wait for our main meetup. You know, start these local meetups, go for a drink, and you know, send us a picture. Maybe we send you some flag or swags, and just
Yes.
I really want to promote these small meetups.
Yes, guys, whoever from LA, whatever, or from this area, let's get together. I'm open.
I think
Awesome.
Megan is already planning something for August. Yeah, thanks again, Anya. Really appreciate your time. Great turnout for the show again, as always. Thank you, and have a good one. Cheers.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. Bye.
Bye.
And that wraps up our show, Adi, I think. Thank you so much, everybody.
Yeah, I do want to say one thing though, before we say goodbye, since we got a lot of people. Is so interesting to me, Andrew, how like we've had guests now 4 times, 5 times in a row, and all different strategies. And I think maybe 4 years ago, everybody was opening range breakup, like following what you were doing, right? And now you see how it's branched out. Like Jason was an option trader, Renish was mostly like a similar all-day trend, similar to Ed. You know,
Yeah, that's what I always believed, Adi, that there is more than one correct way of trading. And you know, this is something that I always wanted to encourage people that do not think that you have to copy someone else's strategy. It's just you have to create your own strategy. That has your own DNA and fingerprint on that.
Yeah.
And it's just a career. No 2 engineers are the same. You know, it's just have to, even though the computer developers, no 2 person actually code, you know, exactly the same. So you just have to learn and, you know, nourish that inside you.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, no two traders are the same as well. Yeah, very well said. All right, yeah. With that, that's another show. I think tomorrow. Are you here tomorrow? Because I'm traveling tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll be here tomorrow. Make sure that's you know, cover. I know Norm is covering some of your time.
Yeah, and then Brian, I think will come in. I don't think Brian's watching the show because right in the middle of the chat he was calling me. Brian, we're in a live, but I think he wanted to make sure if we're here tomorrow. But anyway, thanks everyone for another great show. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow. Cheers.
Bye. Thank you, guys. Cheers. See you tomorrow morning, and don't forget the webinar tonight by Randy on membership session. Bye.